Welcome to Enlightened AF. I'm Tricia Carr.
And I'm Aidan Demarest.
And we're going to have a show today.
We're going to have a show today.
It's just the two of us. Aidan, does my hair look different to you?
It looks very different.
He's still trained. Boy. He's not married to a woman anymore, but he still knows.
Love it. Definitely.
It makes you look skinny.
All the hours that you spent doing that undetectable change.
Never mind.
What happened?
I don't know. It's got I put a glaze on it. It's really undetectable. My husband couldn't tell either. So it didn't actually. It's like putting makeup on my hair.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, it's super glazed.
Thanks. Yeah, perfect. Yeah.
You look like a capital citizen.
I don't want to know what glazed has meant to you before. And that's for your mom.
Oh, damn it. We were going to stay away from that.
Okay. Well, but today we have a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah, we do.
Each of us.
Yeah.
In that you have nothing going on.
I have nothing going on. Yeah. No, I have a lot going on.
I actually don't know what's going on with you.
Yeah, right? I was just going to say, I kind of have a lot going on.
We talk, well, first of all, Aidan is... He is exactly as he seems on this show. He is a tornado. He's a Tasmanian devil. If we don't talk for 18 hours, there are all kinds of things that have happened.
Absolutely. I've already gotten married again, divorced, and I have a brand new Chinese baby girl at home. I don't know what happened. It was one night out.
Speaking of baby girls, yours is hanging out in the lobby.
Yes.
Oh, she's so cute.
My little, Carrie is out in the lobby, and that's not her name. That's her personality.
If you don't know what he means, millennials, it's a film from the late 70s with Sissy Spacek.
Oh, they know it's not. It's last year they redid it.
Oh, they did?
The kids know it.
So then the other end of the spectrum, the old people like me who don't watch current movies, they
right.
did?
No, Carrie's been redone.
Oh, cool.
For sure. Una knows it.
Oh, okay, great.
She's a little. Here's what you'd have to explain to them. She's also a little Sylvia Plath.
Yeah, a little. Well, I mean.
/ Legally Blonde. She's covering all the gears.
Just to be safe.
So she spends a lot of money in a dark, tormenting way.
Right.
It's super fun. She's here with her headset on, not in the studio, so we can talk all we want. And we could even if she was here, because she never takes them out.
Right.
The minute my mouth opens, she's all volume.
She was I said hello to her. She was very polite and sweet.
Oh, yeah. Luckily, that's a gift. She's nice to other people.
So that'll get her far. That'll get her off the payroll sometime.
Baby girl's out there. I was telling Kurt that on the way.
Bring your mic up. You have your headphones on. You're still not.
Oh, I can hear me.
It was a little.
Is this better?
Yeah, that's better.
We went to Bob's Big Boy in Burbank for dinner with my 17-year-old who's driving.
Okay.
Permit driving.
Okay.
And the little kid in the back, and the other one. So they're pestering, fighting the whole way. And I was just telling Kurt how easily shocked I am, even based on my history of just rampant, all sorts of stuff, that my kid is driving, and some kid doesn't see me in the driver's seat, and asks him if he wants to smoke out.
What?
Weed.
What?
And I was like, wait, what? Did that just happen? Wait, what? And he's like, Spencer's like, bye. Rolls up the window. Yeah.
But that's a real clueless kid.
I guess my little buzz cut must have thrown the kid. Yeah, clueless, like an 8th grader.
Yeah.
All these kids are smoking weed in a suburb.
Well, Bill, I think that's typical, right?
Yes.
It was not typical for me.
I did in my suburb, but I still was affronted.
Yeah, well, you should be.
I was like, what is happening right now?
You're supposed to hide it from me.
Yes, what a dumbass. And he's like, I go, what was that?
I'm going to confiscate that.
Yeah.
And actually, the old you, he would have just taken it.
Give me that weed.
You shouldn't do this.
You kids are grounded. Entirely grounded, both of you.
You blew that out at me like it was real.
And I'm high.
Oh my gosh. Actually, have you ever done breath of fire or Wim Hof breathing? It makes me a little scared. I get such a head rush that it kind of it can really scare me if I do too much. I get really high on air.
I did it years ago. I did yoga, and I would punch into, and I would have to punch through it, either intense emotion, and it was probably a difficult time, but emotion and anger, and the breath of fire would bring me to both. I didn't know if I was going to cry or hit somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Breath is so cleansing. And
you see people crying in yoga.
It's life force energy. So it's dusting shit up. And yoga, yoga and massage. People will begin to just sob in certain kinds of massage.
Yeah, I've gotten really emotional at that.
Because the issues are in your tissues.
Yeah. And I breathe now a lot. Yeah. No, you just don't when you're wound up and running around.
Oh, right.
Especially lately. So what's going on with you? You've got a lot going on.
I've got a lot going on. In 2 weeks we'll discuss it really openly on the show.
Did you think you worked for the White House?
Tricia
works for a company that in our spirit world, right? Mm-hmm. So she works for the target of the spirit world. It's what I'll just go ahead and call it. And I have enjoyed just totally, I guess, like sort of abusing its members and staff for years. Not Tricia. So it was like I could never actually work there because it would be like the warden working in the prison yard.
Yeah.
Like I had done nothing but just rob and rape and pillage through that place, which was my job.
Yeah.
Totally. Anyway, I can't wait till we can talk about it.
All right, we'll talk about it later. We'll talk about it later. But yeah, things have been shifting for me, but they're all in very positive directions. But with you, I mean, do you have something new on the horizon yet?
Yeah. No. I'm contemplating it. Actually, I was contemplating two things, and this is how we got to our topic.
Okay, good. Yeah.
And I'm coming to it.
Good.
Is that I was like, because I have a consulting firm, and I, get clients, spend time with them, move in with them, more so now because I really just work by myself.
Not like into their homes. But
sometimes a little bit. Yeah. They're hot. But these people weren't. Anyway, so I move in and get all into that, and then have to consider where to go next. And anyway, I know a lot of people who were in this. For some reason, it's interesting that other people's lives mirror yours at the same time.
Oh my gosh, it's crazy.
Right? Well, so all of a sudden I was like, so in other words, I really need to get a job, like a job.
Because you didn't have one for about 10 days or something, like the gap between...
Oh, I have my business, and I planned on this ending.
A contract ended, but you didn't have one that was lined
There's nothing
directly
else.
up.
Yeah, when I used to have a lot of people, or some people working for, and
you gave
with
yourself
us,
a little.
I could have
room.
a couple of people.
And still take some days off because someone else is starting
but
it.
But this one, I really enjoyed this time off. I enjoyed it, but there's that fine line between self-employed and unemployed, and I have now crossed it. So now I am officially like unemployed, eating at fucking Bob's Big Boy with my kids rather than somewhere good. Bonus is I'm a way better dad and hang out with my kids.
So you've officially declined the Bob's Big Boy consulting in this episode.
I would love it if they got a bar and I am on board. If they're pushing for a license, I'm in, because I would totally sell those drinks.
Yeah.
The brownie sundae cocktail. Ooh, with a shot of Bailey's.
Ugh. You've done a program like that before a couple of times.
Yeah, which one? Oh, Little Tony's.
Yeah, Little Tony's. You did the
just ice cream.
Pink squirrel. Yeah, like there was like 6 drinks that were made of ice cream.
Yes.
Oh,
backed.
So gross.
Yeah, totally. You're just like, yeah. Anyway, booze goes in everything. Anyway, so what I came to was this really interesting, nice, having gone through a whole lot of like just sitting with some uncomfortability, is that I thought I had to make a choice, and I decided that I could both do my consult and keep my company and my independence and get a job.
Okay.
And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take both.
What does the get a job mean? Are you
gonna go back to work?
But you mean you have a new contract?
Yeah, no, I have a proposal out for a place that I really want, which we can't talk about yet.
Okay.
And I have a job that has been offered that I really want, that we can't talk about.
Okay, well that's very helpful.
But I really manifest. Here's the two things that I really thought about is that I really like having that desk with the magic box and the girl with the headset on in front of it.
So you're going to be going to a place.
Office.
You're going to be going to a place like 40 hours a week?
Yeah.
That's weird.
Right?
For
like a human,
indefinitely?
and have like dry cleaning bags hanging on a hook in the back seat of my car.
Indefinitely?
Sure.
And it's like
I've done it before,
but is it a desk job?
Yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a magic box. Ding,
right,
ding, ding, ding. And there's these kind of lightings above you. Oh my gosh. And you have to push a code thing to get in. Maybe I'll drive a Saturn or whatever you have?
A Ford Focus.
Maybe
Thank you very much.
Can I have that?
Yes.
You want to turn that
promptly,
over?
Yes.
After all the abuse I've given you for it? I'm going to be like, beep, beep.
Well, all right. So I don't know.
Yeah,
I
whatever.
guess
That's not that interesting. But the interesting part was, neither of it's that interesting. In fact, it's kind of dull. But the interesting part is that I don't think you have to, like, everybody thinks like, oh, it's art versus commerce and all that kind of stuff. And I think it's really commerce versus commerce.
Yeah.
Because everybody wants their art to pay off.
Yes, of course.
Right? And I do consider what I do consulting-wise as sort of my art. You know what I mean? And I get to be very creative and work for myself. But with all those things.
Right. Well,
Then you end up in Bob's Big Boy with your kid smoking weed and some other kid in the parking lot.
Well, yeah, and it's true. There is. So if you want to do what you love, then we still have this collective agreement that we have to have some kind of exchange, and that exchange that we emphasize is currency.
Why are you managing your stones right now?
It's heavy.
Felt like you were like reaching to them for the answer.
He's talking about my crystal, my beautiful.
I was playing with
crystal.
my stones at the same time.
I just have one.
Me too. Tangiers.
Divorce.
Fact. And it's around her neck.
Yeah.
So that, I don't know if that got anywhere near our topic, which I really liked. Actually, I love that you cooked this up. We do have a discussion about what our topic would be today. And, and our topic is
future fear.
Yes.
Future fear.
And future fear and how you can roll along. And I kind of brought that, future fear, right? Because you've got a big change happening.
I have a big change happening.
Which could result in some future fear.
Well, yeah. It's crazy, though, because, the change came about so friggin' directly manifested. Okay, this is what I didn't tell you.
I remember, I saw.
Okay, this is the part that I told you last week about clearing the abuse of sitting with the three types of abusers. So that directly provoked the change. Because the reason I was sitting with those, to recap.
You didn't tell them that story.
I didn't? I thought I told it on the air.
No, you told it to me at lunch.
Kurt, did I tell you the story?
I don't think so.
No, we talked about that at lunch.
Oh, okay. Well, I can't remember when I say things to whom.
She smoked weed with the 13-year-old in the parking lot at Wiener Schnitzel.
I'm saying things on the internet all over the place, so I don't remember. But
right.
Anyway.
Quit telling everybody your business.
Well, that's my job.
I know.
That's my art.
So you had this really cool.
Business.
We had this great discussion because you were talking about clearing out your sort of proverbial asshole closet.
Yes, yes, which was not proverbial for you at other times. In your life.
God, it's such a far reach around.
Come on.
That was a reach around. I'm
You
not
would
giving
know.
you props for that one.
You would know.
I do love a reach around. But who doesn't?
I don't.
You do.
No.
A reach around?
That's too much.
Too much?
Yeah.
What?
That's too much.
Yeah, come on. Everybody loves a reach around.
No,
Not that reach around thing. That works on all situations.
No, it's too much. Kurt's like, I can't pull photos on this one either.
Reach around? Let's hear about the reach around. I had a cocktail called the reach around. And you know what the reach around is, right?
Yeah, the one is behind and then reaching around to the front.
Yes.
I get it. Yeah.
Doing a little flick in the bean, whatever. Jerk off situation.
That's what I'm saying. That's too much. The bean is fine. If
just with the fucking?
like we're being tiptoeing around.
Yeah, I'm just going to dive in.
Just with the
First of all, we just lost everybody. We were at like kids smoking weed. Now we're at like your job search, and I am now at a reach around.
All right.
But your job's kind of a reach around. Because you're getting fucked all the time.
So this is what, no, I wasn't actually. Well, so this is what's, this is what my trajectory was though. So weekend before last, as we were doing this broadcast, I actually spent some time in like some inner work, and it was in meditation, and I wanted to clear some survival fear. So basically future fear, sure, it's always survival fear. That's what that means. I can't survive. So Kurt found a really funny reach around picture. You have to watch this on YouTube.
Oh, it's so good.
So anyway.
See, everyone knows the reach around.
So to do that, I was like feeling into that survival fear, and I kept feeling into it, and it was taking me down these different ways that the echoes of what it is as I kept feeling into it deeper. And then I wound up with some trauma, some family trauma. And so I don't want to tell too much of somebody's business, but there was like 3 different types of abusers. All kinds of abuses happened in my family line, with me as well, but I'm talking about in other ways.
Yeah, generationally.
Yes. And so there were 3 different manifestations of horrid abuse, which I won't tell. Because I don't want to bum anyone out.
We're not telling any of the good parts today.
All right. So there was like a...
No, you don't have to. I
there
swear.
were like, child molesters, there were rapists, and then another kind of rapist. I mean, it's right. All right. I don't want to get too much more detailed. I don't want anyone
Sounds like any wedding at my family.
Yeah. Texas.
Fact.
So what I did was that's where I wound up trying to clear the survival fear. And so what I did was I sat with each of those concepts until there was no more ick. There was no more like resistance. It didn't have a charge for me anymore. You know what I mean? Like it
Yeah,
wasn't
I
something
do.
that I wanted to run away from, because the reason is because that fear of that kind of domination and abuse was trickling down into my family beliefs and to me about how you actually run your energy and run your life.
Yeah.
And so if I could clear those things, I mean, there's more, of course, but it directly related to me feeling completely different
And
about
shifting real things in your life.
2 days later.
Boom.
2 days later, something that I had been clinging to in a way naturally, just gently and gracefully moved out of my experience, and with a serious amount of grace. I have all kinds of cushion to move beyond it.
Right.
And so it's real. So that's what so far as future fear is concerned, when there's fear, I'm just seeing it as an opportunity to go in there and sit with it until it moves, and then you're basically superhuman.
Well, that's it. And I think that, it resonated with the same thing sort of happened with me with work, you know, like with my clients and me just really feeling done and moving on. But it also happened personally. But what I realized, especially having been through recovery and spending a lot of time sort of like trying to just keep even keel, you know, and that's when we talk about crazy o'clock, you know, and avoiding that time when things just go off kilter inside my brain.
So that's just like at some point in the day and a bunch of anxiety sets in. That's
Right.
what you're saying.
And which is obviously not real. But but even more so this last couple of weeks, since I've had some time and I had this nice graceful exit as well, where I got some time to really think about it. And I purposely sort of didn't manifest / beat the street for a new client because I needed some time to sort of figure out how I not get to the same place that I was talking about at that dinner when I was like, this guy's driving me bananas. I'm always trapped at the end of these things, and I don't know how to extricate myself.
Yeah.
You know? And what I realized is that with a ton of meditation and a ton of, you know, like all the things that I do to keep even keel, there's a lot of retreating and hiding from feelings. And exactly what you're talking about, except I use the word marinating. I spent the last a couple of weeks marinating in an uncomfortable feeling. What's the worst case scenario? And really inside my body, primally, it's starve, be homeless, like all these things. Like I get super poor kid fearful, and I have to like get beyond it. And it's not a realistic thing. Now it could be down the line. I mean, obviously I have to support myself and my kids, but it's way over the top. And so I love what you're talking about. Like, so I spent a week like sort of marinating in like, what's this fear rather than the solution? Like, and usually with meditation, I spend a lot of time meditating, forgetting all the things.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Instead, I really didn't wear it. I just observed it.
Yes.
And that's a powerful thing that I think a lot of people...
That's how it loses its power.
Yeah, I just observed it and I didn't wear it. And that is a really tricky thing.
Yeah.
Because you're so used to being like, nope. I'm just going to be positive. And I was definitely still...
Yeah.
An image, and I'm just going to wrap this up, like that image that really helped for me that I heard from a friend of mine was that you are just like a movie screen and the images of this burning house are on the screen, but they are not the screen. So you're just watching these images. And really most of those images that I was watching just aren't real. You know what I mean? And it wasn't, and then some of them were like, hey, my car payment's going to be due in 2 months, like things like that. And it's not that black and white, but it was so helpful to consider some bad ideas. And I think we spend so much time in, our world especially, and a lot of people who go to healers and go to empaths and go to psychics, I feel a lot of times, and I have done this, running away from things. They don't want to see things. They want to see like, where's that pot of gold? Where's that rainbow? Where's that relationship? I don't want to talk about all this.
Well, the thing is, I think some of the time, there is benefit in that as well, though. And that is that... this is what the benefit is. Needing a relief from their own torture mechanism, their own, you know what I mean? Their own mental...
I'm not saying people need to worry more, but it's changing the way you worry.
But and so they get a bit of vacation. They get to get charged up with some positive energy, and that can then help them to work on, you know what I mean, like raise their vibration a bit and then work on shifting what is going on. You know what I mean? Like they need, it's like you need an injection of some health and vitamins in order to even begin doing that sometimes.
And I think you have to be, both the circumstances we're talking about were are things that we manifested. So they weren't out of control situations
Right.
that we couldn't handle. So I chose this one wisely to spend some time with.
What's so weird to me is how, like you said, we manifested it. So I manifested a fantastic
Absolutely.
thing.
Yeah.
But somehow my ego convinces me that I can't manifest another amazing thing. Or, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
somehow we can be in those
all
moments.
all these miracles. And then you're like, oh, okay, well, how about the whole enchilada?
Yeah.
You know?
Why not more?
Yeah, I know. Well, even as because Tricia and I are looking for a space
Yes. Good.
for something. I don't mind talking about that.
Oh, I didn't know if we still were because we haven't talked
We're
in 6
looking
days.
for a space to be, like a home base to, sell chocolate bars and
Cigarettes.
have kids sell weed in the parking lot.
Yeah.
So my kids can help out. Family business.
They're not gonna get a job.
True story. They would never turn in
gonna
their
help out.
reward, their profits. Anyway, so we've been looking for a space, and it's funny because I jump back and forth.
No,
as you've
seriously, for
seen.
like a spiritual wellness kind of
Center.
conscious community center. Yeah.
Yeah, / bar.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Possibly.
Seriously, there's a good possibility.
We know how to make that money.
Yes, with a bowl and girls on Friday nights. Shit happens, You can't make all your money off crystals and
At
sea
least-
salts.
Well, you might be able to if you want to. If those are the beliefs you want to have, then you can have those.
Fact.
But I also like wine. I can drink it still.
Yeah, I know, and I like people who are drinking wine.
Yeah, exactly.
I do not enjoy sober people for too long. I'll be like, hey, why don't you get messed up? Because that'll still be a wall between us. I don't have to have it, but you being sober is bumming me out. I'm hoping we're going to make a kaleidoscope switch with whatever you drink, and you're going to turn it into something else.
What is the drink that makes you interesting?
I definitely used to say that all the time. I'm like, I don't drink to get drunk. I drink to make you interesting. Anyway, so we are looking for a space, and like you were talking about, you and I are I feel like I get almost everything I ask for, and
Yeah, you're a powerful manifester.
So why would I ask for a little space?
Right.
Like
Right,
a little storefront that used to be a dry cleaner. Why not
Right.
like a rooftop with a pool?
Yes.
And like a gas, stove, the gas fire pit kind of situation.
Yeah.
Because that's my new plan.
A gas fire pit.
Fire pit, thingamajig,
But you want a kitchen too, because Aidan loves intuitive cooking.
Yes. And that's sort of really where that idea is coming from. So anyway, we're looking at spaces, and it's very fun and it's very exciting. And both of the dead weight that we just lost sort of is really helpful to that situation. Not people, although I lost some dead weight in that department too.
Yeah. I've lost 5 pounds.
What? Have you?
Yeah.
Wow. Nice. That's the other good thing. I've been able to work out a ton.
Yeah.
The last, I think so. Just the fun things I like to do, which take
Sleep.
more time.
And sleep.
Yeah.
Are you going to be able to sleep with
I'm
these
not
new endeavors
tired.
going on? It sounds like you have 2 jobs. And are you going to be able to do any of
I'll
the
be able to
things?
sleep way more. I was here's where I put the line down. Like, I am not working until 3:00 in the morning anymore. Turns out I'm like 150 years old. Like I was.
Well, and you have kids that get up early.
I
So
had to close down the speakeasies during the Prohibition.
yeah.
Yeah, and I have kids. I got to get up early. This last run in a bar just torched me. That's why we were doing all those shows about trying to get sleep. I was like, please, is there an answer?
It was a nap for you.
I have not slept in days, like since the kids were little.
Yeah.
I've slept a lot. I've gotten to like ride and run and swim and do all the things that I like to do that take a lot longer than just popping into the gym, like a little rat on a wheel.
And so how's Crazy O'Clock been for you then? So is it you?
That's what I want to hear about. Like because I've been addressing it, Crazy O'Clock. So if anybody's listening and wants to call in, I want to hear about your Crazy O'Clock.
That's right. 323-524-2599.
Callers. Who wants the first reach around? Look at that. I do. I am always down for a reach around. And the cool thing is you really don't know who's doing it, so you don't care. Oh, just kidding, Mom. I've never had one of those.
Your mom really should not listen. Mine doesn't.
My mom doesn't either. She's I like at the rate that it takes her to even answer her phone, and then I have to hear for 10 minutes about the process of answering the phone. Still, like years later, it's still like, oh, I don't know what's happening. I'm like, I'll be with you in a second.
That hurts. But that's actually what it's like talking to you during the day too.
Me?
Yes. It's always in the car and it's loud, and then he somehow winds up at a rave, and I'm like, what? I can't hear you. And he's like, hold on. Can I have 3 sandwiches and a cup of coffee? And
Yeah.
I'm like, we're trying to like plan a show
She's like
in a business.
candle staring in her backyard with like a cat. I have 3 fucking horrible teenagers, and like I'm working in like a Mexican place in the valley. Like that's what that sounds like.
That's what my life sounds like.
If I like taught like one-man band school, it would be quieter.
Even like, oh my gosh. I have to say, even his, I'm gonna call you, and I want you to reject the call, because even like his voicemail, his outgoing message, are you gonna reject it?
Okay. Oh yeah, reject it.
His outgoing message is.
I have to reject it, right?
Well, reject it, yeah.
Oh shit! All I did was put it on thing.
Reject it.
I thought I did.
That's his message.
Hi, this is Aidan. Leave a message, and I'll call you back. Thanks.
Do you hear how noisy? That's
I'm
his
like
outgoing
hiking.
message.
I'm running at that
like-
point. I'm like, I don't even have time to do this message. It is true. It's a dead fucking run. I get off the ground, and it's just a dead run. It's true. And I like, and that is the other thing that my family do all the time. They're like, well, call me back when you're not busy. And I'm like, when I'm dead.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Never
right?
again.
Meet
Bye.
you then. I'll be in a black suit.
Yeah.
Like-
But it's like, seriously, talking to you constantly is like pulling the phone away from my ear, because something just got really loud.
I know. Everybody says that. I can't. I'm too ADD to have like a focused conversation. And now that they're handless, so like I'm like literally like chopping up chili while I'm talking to my tax guy.
All right. So how have you been? So crazy o'clock. How have you been managing? Has that gotten? That's what I want to ask you though. Is like
I love the term crazy
things-
o'clock.
the
Like it's
things
a
have gotten
time
in
during the
line.
day for me that it's just like dong.
But
and
now
I am
that
bananas.
you have 2 things that we can't talk, of which we cannot speak, that are lining up for you, does the crazy o'clock go, minimize, or does it just displace itself? Or
Maybe
does it
that's
like go?
it. For
it's
me
about my
personally,
kids
the
now.
busier I am, the less I can get to crazy o'clock because I don't have time to like get.
Oh,
to
so.
But crazy o'clock. Here's my and it wasn't just me. I kind of only expressed it out loud in the last couple of weeks because a couple of other people I knew I was talking to, and they were like, "Man, everything's great." I like woke up, worked out, like had a great conversation with my significant other, like all this kind of stuff. Took a quick nap, and woke up, and it was crazy o'clock.
Okay.
I had turned on all those things. All of those things had gone terribly in my mind. Like I think, like,
Yeah.
like, and nothing, no new information was presented,
Right.
and yet it was now crazy time.
But that's the thing about like the practice of presence is none of those things are happening right now. And when you do that, then you catch up to where things are actually created, which is now. You know what I mean? Like that doesn't mean you're not going to be practical and you're not going to be pragmatic, but the only way that you can be practical and pragmatic is to be in the now where things are planned and created. You know what I mean? Like where things are actually created.
Yeah.
So sometimes that's about the best I can do is just it's like, have you ever overscheduled yourself? Like tomorrow, you're like, that day makes no sense. I don't know. And then it's like, you're starting to live one thing to the next. And I've done that. But then when I just decided to be present about it, okay, well, those things aren't happening right now. And the things, they're all planned from a place of love and life. You know what I mean? Like whether by, well, for whatever reason, or at least there is a ray of love and life in it, and that's all I have to focus on.
Right.
And then when I do that and I just keep staying present, and it's like ugly o'clock in the morning that I have to get up to go to the 900 things that are success in succession, I just keep staying present and magical things will happen. Like something will get moved around, somebody else will be
Yep.
late, something
Today
gets
for me.
canceled, or it just flows and my energy stayed fine. But that's the thing too, is the ego tries to start worrying about it now.
Yes.
But you know what that does? That eats up the energy that would be actually fueling your capacity to get through that
to
day.
get it to it
To
exactly.
get through the busyness.
And then a train wrecks and you get a parking ticket and you can't
Yeah.
find your keys and did it because you're not present. I have definitely considered both losing my keys, my sunglasses, phone, or wallet, and getting a parking ticket. All of which happened to me on the daily for years and don't as much anymore. And now whenever one of those 5 items happen, I just refuse to get bent. I really
Right.
don't. I'm just like, nope.
I wonder
And
what could come of this.
a cool tip I got from a guy
Someone
in my
else. Mm-hmm.
world program was like, sit down and pay that parking ticket and get present because you're not present.
Right.
So take 10 minutes, go on your phone and pay that ticket. A, it's gone. And B, you've gotten present. You've learned the lesson of being unpresent.
I have to tell myself too that
That's
I'm
pretty
somehow
badass, right?
supporting a government or something. I have to.
Yeah.
It's a kind of taxes, and I have to
No,
like.
I've done it twice. I can't even believe it. And I swear, I feel like I should
It's an
get out of the
opportunity.
car and get the Nobel Peace Prize for having done that. Like the city owes me the key because I have sent that $60. But it is so contrary to my action and any other time in my life. But it really does work.
Okay, so I have a really awesome story about presence.
Yes.
And about coming.
Presents, like opening presents or being present?
Being present, and about staying out of future fear in
Future fear.
in favor
I'm going to
of.
mime the whole rest of the show.
That's not helpful or entertaining. So I had this. So a student of mine. Oh, by the way, if you guys, I do have a Mystic Arts Academy here, and I want to tell you about this too. I have a 3-part
I saw that. I want
workshop
to hear about
coming out. Yeah, I have a workshop. It's actually, they're 3 standalone workshops, but they would work if you go to all 3 too. So it's journeying with your multidimensional spirit guides. So what that
that.
basically
I like
is.
the sound of that one.
Yeah, so there's it's like a lecture and guided journey, kind of situation. So it's actually a long day. So we're going to go through, for one workshop, we'll go through a certain dimensional kind of experience. So in this higher plane of dimensionality, these are the kinds of energies or experiences you may have, meeting with aspects of yourself or spirit guides as we see them. And so we'll talk about that, and then I will basically induce everyone in a meditation, kind of a hypnotic trance, and then we will have the experience of connecting
All together? Mm-hmm. Like on a big astral spaceship?
Yeah,
Nice.
exactly.
I like that.
Yeah.
I have been to that party. Totally different situation. But
Right. And
yeah.
it's like and so we'll do that. There'll be 3 different sections of the day. 2 really strong journeys, and one that's more of a and then there'll be Q&A between each one, sharing and Q&A.
Isn't that a lot for you? How do you keep track of everybody's spirit guides? Are you the only one talking to them, or do they?
No, they're having their own journey.
They're having their own.
Yeah. I'm not.
And
No,
there's
no.
no ayahuasca.
I'm not reading them. They're having their own. I'm leading it. I'm leading the experience.
Yeah.
And they're having their own journey.
I saw it on the magic
the light
box.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Wait, but it's on Facebook, right?
Yeah.
Is it on our Facebook page too?
No,
You should
I
put that
should
on
do.
there.
Yeah.
Because I might go to that.
Okay.
I'm gonna come.
All right. Good.
I liked it.
There are
Right?
3,
and
so they're on
and I like that it
Saturdays.
was 111. That's how much the price is.
Oh, that's how much it is. Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
I like that. It's 11. It's 111.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. And so
Which
you can.
is like a parking ticket.
So you can come. You can
But
come in
you'll get
person.
present.
You can come in person, or you can join online live stream. So it's really cool. Anyway, so
I'm gonna join online, but with no pants on.
you can just
That's
keep the camera
happening. Yeah.
high.
Totally.
So one of my students, I also do an intuitive mediumship development class twice per month, and so one of my students, she's been in several of my classes, but she submitted her husband, or she was like, "Oh, my husband just lost his job. Would you?" I felt so great, like when we worked together, because I've done a reading session, we've done a session for her,
Right.
and are you available? And I said, you know what, I have a class tomorrow, and my students, many of which are advanced readers, like it would be a really great opportunity, rather than even trying to book an appointment with me. Just come and get a reading from my many students.
Yeah.
So it's really cool. So basically,
Like going to beauty school for a haircut.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Was it cheaper for him?
It was $0.
Oh,
He
yeah.
was volunteering.
So he got a free
Yeah.
haircut.
And
I like that.
so there's there were probably 6 students there and myself, and we're all, so he got a reading, and his wife is into
There it
this
is.
metaphysics and spirituality. But he's
a picture.
He's just kind of new to it. But anyway, so this was 3 weeks ago, I think. So basically she wrote me today, and she says, share it with the class. My husband got the job. So he lost a job. And I remember parts of the things that we were all saying were the new job is going to have some kind of conscious element to it. Apparently, I guess I was saying that. I think she said. So she said, so the new job is called collective with a K. So it does have a conscious element to it. We were saying there is another job that's an interim job that may not be a perfect fit, but there's a really choice job that's on the other side of that. So actually how it lined up was, he did get 2 job offers kind of at the same time. And one was immediate and offered. The other one, he was kind of not sure if it would happen, but it was the one he preferred. But he didn't know if he could actually get it. Like, it was like almost like they were talking about perhaps creating something for him, but it's what he wanted real bad. He turned down the job offer. Like, there was too much of a gap because, and then like he and his wife did, like, she told him to feel into it and like connect with his inner being about it. And I think she even pulled some oracle cards.
Okay.
So he released the job that wasn't a perfect fit and like had a few days of like, okay,
future fear, crazy o'clock, all the things.
He didn't do that though. He stayed really present. And then that other job offer did come in and it wasn't as much money as he had hoped. And he said, you know what, just tell them yes, because I just want to work. I just want the job. I don't really care. That person, they took that to the CEO and he's like, that's the kind of guy we need working for us. And they like they increased his package and his position even more just because he's so cool. So it's like dream job. So not only like we have at the time that we read him, it was like there's an interim job that's not perfect, then there's a better job. But because he turned it down, it's like he sped up that timeline. In the original timeline that we were reading, he was going to have a not perfect job for a little while and then leave it for the perfect job. But instead, he didn't even take it. He just said no to it and opted for his own inner being. It's insane how accurate everything was, except for their creative energy that they added to it actually made the soup even spicier. And so it happened really, really fast.
Wow.
So cool.
Yeah. So like it was a big part of it.
It was huge. Yeah.
I think that is that's I like the secret sauce or the spice that is missing. It's what I feel like I've always been somebody who could make things happen for myself, but now I feel like I'm getting better either at writing the interim periods, but also making them shorter.
Right.
Definitely. Especially with, kids are perfect. Like with my kids, I can sort of be like, okay, and I'm working 2 programs, a spiritual and a 12-step. So but letting go, giving space, like letting somebody create some space with an idea rather than cramming it down their throat. Yeah, he really that's excellent. The fact that he was able to like utilize that sort of posse.
Yeah.
Spiritual. He had a little spiritual, like a little witch brew.
And his wife too.
Coven.
Yeah. And but it was there was like so many details. Like one of the students of the class who's, she's a student, but she's an advanced professional reader too. And like she was picking up on, she was like, it's something to do with, I think she was like telecommunication, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, well, yeah, that's what I do. And it was like, she was actually able to dial into it because she's kind of in that industry as well. So it was easy for her to actually even analyze what she was picking up. Whereas I don't know, it was just really like so evidential and so
very busy, very important. I'm texting.
Yeah,
right
thanks
now.
a lot.
Yeah.
So is that Una texting you?
No.
Dad, what's going on?
Yeah, right.
She's gonna walk in here. I'm hungry.
No, we just went to Bob's Big Boy.
Oh, okay.
She ate. She's fed out there. And
So-
we couldn't certainly have her in here listening to any of this.
So
Or some of it.
So staying present, but staying connected to you, like your truth, you know what I mean? Like the thing that inspires you, what I call like your seed information, that which is your program, your blueprint.
I had somebody mentioned, it's a really cool thing to me. I've been checking out this like this whole like other religious sort of TM with not just, but then there's also religious overlays in it as well.
Transcendental meditation.
Yes, transcendental meditation. And in order to, I took a few classes on that with you, but I've taken some classes about meditation as well over at the SRF. Some stuff, and been to some of their services to see like because there's all this whole sort of clinical use of meditation. Anyway, remember a couple weeks ago we did the sleep episode
with David Gandelman.
Yep.
Which David Gandelman, he's been on the show a couple of times. He's been on Charmed Life, my show, and he has a new sleep podcast. It just launched 2-3 weeks ago.
And we talked about it.
Yeah, no, I know, but I'm always replugging in case someone didn't hear that episode. It's called Grounded Sleep with David Gandelman, and it's so good.
Right.
All right, go ahead.
Ding, TM. And give us $20, Dave. You were buying dinner. Anyway, one of the things I talked about is that my sort of mantra is flatline, right? Which you were like, oh, that's kind of dark.
Yeah, it freaked us out.
But evidently over there at Yogananda, there's a thing called a mini samadhi, which means mini death. And sleeping is a part of this mini death sort of thing.
I think David mentions that in his first episode of the podcast. Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, of his podcast.
Yeah, of his podcast.
Yeah, well, so boom. So like I just cut to the chase right away and just am like, take me away. Like I just go right to flatline. But it has been. I don't have a lot of problem sleeping. It's like it's a gift, and I have never except for maybe as a teenager, I had some insomnia, but I sleep like a brick. And I've really staying present, I think, is key to that. If you get all over the place about tomorrow before you go to bed,
Oh, yeah.
you're just fucked.
Yeah.
Or if you start doing a recap, I can feel it.
No, you got to clear it out.
And I just get super in the moment. And kids help with that because you've got like a ritual that you've got to do. And even now, especially because I have bigger kids, so it's like at midnight. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
Why? Because they're still
up.
doing things?
Yeah. Not homework or
Yeah.
anything.
But there's like light boxes on in the house. And yeah.
Oh, all the shit. I have to turn everything off. Sometimes I threaten to kill the power in the whole building. Just like goosh, like I might just get a thing next to my bed that crushes the house.
Well, I have a routine with my kitties and my birdies too. So yeah, there's a whole thing. And as we start, so
she has a routine with her kitties and her birdies that Brian really appreciates. It's a whole routine.
I don't know what that's supposed to be dirty.
There's a whole strip show with birds. You know that, right?
No.
Really? Come on, Brian. Where's my bird strip show?
That's not Brian. That's Kurt.
Kurt. Where's the like? There's a whole bird lady.
Oh, you mean with feathers?
Yeah.
Well, you said birds.
No, birds as well. There's birds.
No, I just know the feather fan from like the
I have
40s.
I have the best menu from Bangkok, from a strip club. Oh, it's so great. I'll show it to you later.
I don't know what you mean.
It's filthy. It's just this menu of the things that the girls will do.
Oh, like a sex menu.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's this whole menu. A friend of mine who went to Julie, she's a hilarious
Kurt's
comedian.
now over the Googling sex menu
And
Bangkok.
there's a sex menu, and and I'm like, what are all these items? There's like all this stuff, and it's like things they will put inside them. That's what that menu is.
Okay, so I have a
So
friend.
it's like a number 21 is like ping pong balls.
I have a friend who went to Thailand, and so he was in
Poor Thailand.
a sex bar of some kind.
Yes, there it is.
Oh no.
Yes, that's just what it looked like. It was great.
Oh no.
Could we not see it close up? Was it filthy? Where there was like a fish in what?
There was a fish.
Golf clubs, everything.
So my friend went to Thailand, and he was like, they were in one of those sex clubs, and I think it was a gay one, and so, or at least there was gay stuff happening, and he said they were just in
I
there.
think it's all up in the air.
And like right in the middle of the thing, and one guy was getting serviced from behind, and he was just like talking to them, like, "Hey, how's it going? What are you guys doing?" And he was like, the part that weirded him out was the guy was just chit chatting like normal while he was getting.
Can I get you guys some
railed.
nachos?
So
It's the
weird.
bartender.
Yeah, exactly.
He's like, I'd get you a beer, but I'm busy. We got to do work with what's right here.
He's like, "Hey,
Oh,
it's just water. It's okay."
the colostomy bag.
Speaking of which, Aidan likes to make fun of my mason jar,
Isn't
which
that
is
weird?
Which is no, it's not.
How
because
much more country can you be with that situation?
Okay, but
it looks like a jar of moonshine.
I've almost sent you. So I sent him a picture of a guest and my friend who came on my show a few weeks back. She came in with a mason jar to sit in the
this
studio
is not
with
a
me.
thing.
And then I can't believe I didn't take a picture. Then I went over to David's house, David Gandelman, we were just talking about, and went and looked inside his little. He has a little recording booth in his house, in his apartment, and he has a mason jar sitting on a shelf. I was like, "David, is this your water?" And he's like, "Yeah."
I have them at the house. I have a
He
couple of them.
drinks out of them,
But I
too.
don't like it. This massive one is literally like her
David,
swell.
David
This
has
is her
that
swell bottle.
Same thing, same size and everything.
What are you, Mrs. Lincoln? And it is a whiskey.
No, that's an ice cream.
Yeah,
cup.
whiskey barrel steeped ice cream.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at boom. Southern pecan. You didn't even take the lid off this sucker.
Well, I washed it, but it didn't come off easily.
That could be our sponsor, whiskey ice cream.
That. Oh, there, it's
Christ's
coming
sakes.
right off. All right, so now let's get back to things.
Okay, so crazy o'clock, which to me can mean a lot of things. A really good thing, like crazy o'clock arriving every day. Pasties.
Oh, no, sorry, Kurt. Yeah.
What happened? Oh, you can't get all of it?
Yeah, exactly. It's
Before
so
the
large.
show, I was talking about
we were
how
comparing our racks.
we were comparing racks, and I was saying in like 10 more years, I'm going to beat her.
Yeah.
Because like man boobs are a real thing the older you get.
But how come I'm not getting at least man boobs?
I don't think it crosses over.
So
Right? I'm gonna be like have a luscious rack by the time I'm 60.
yeah, mine's not changed since I was 11. Even if I gain or lose 20 pounds, it doesn't change.
Oh shit!
It just
It
doesn't
doesn't
change.
jump up with weight.
No. The fat arms around it does. Arms and neck move. Arms and jowls. Boobs the same.
Oh, what a bummer. I suppose that's true for guys as well. It's not like your dick gets fatter when you gain weight.
No, that's true.
Yeah.
Well, but see, but breasts are fat tissue, so most women do gain.
Yeah.
But I just don't have a lot of fat tissue there. There's not a lot of fat cells.
Yeah.
So it doesn't seem to. Maybe it does, but it doesn't perceptibly.
Perceptively.
That's the problem with them already.
It does,
is perceptibility.
For sure.
You know, I don't wear bras. I just don't.
I'm telling you, I'm probably about a year or two away from passing you on the, on specs. That's just a nightmare, right?
Yeah. So
well,
anyway,
we could do that on the show. You could get a boob job, or we could.
I don't want a boob job. I'm not
How about we just put some
complaining.
falsies in there?
No, I
Just-
like them.
Like just a bit.
It's still funny. They're funny. They can be funny, and I like them.
Yeah, totally. I get that.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, so where were we at?
We're talking about. So, what other any other ways that you propose that we stay future fear free?
I just really like that term, future fear, and it comes from.
Or destination addiction. That's a slightly different tuning of that same thing.
Well, here's what was really interesting is when this is like, like lots of people are wishing, and I actually haven't been. I've been very happy with my day to day, even with that, with my business now. I'm so grateful for a lot of things, really. So I'm not like, and I've had more in other periods of my life, but this is probably one of the most grateful and happiest times of my life, for sure. It has been for 4 years, like really, like on a daily. And there's plenty of things I could bitch about and do, but overall, yeah, and do, but overall, it's just like good. If somebody asks me how are you, I'm good, but that doesn't mean that you don't go into that crazy o'clock. And what I think is really key, and what I feel like I've just seen a lot of, is letting go of the details of being happy
and the expectations.
What is
the
like
details.
I make all these silent prayers to the universe and my spirit guides and God. Here's what I want to do, but I'm really making a deal. Like, if you give me that car, that person, that house, then I will definitely be so full of faith and present. Like, right? Yeah. But how about it's not the answer? Yeah. Well, so that was the answer with this current work. Like, I just switched gears and was like, okay, you maybe, since your plan has been so much better, this sounds like really Bible belty, but like always way better than mine.
But it doesn't.
Ideas are so much better.
It doesn't have to be Bible belty. Look at it.
Jesus in the house.
Look at it as nature, though. Nature has everything perfectly synchronized.
Right.
And so we are nature. So what is there for you is synchronistically for you, and that is actually a form of abundance, is something lining up in synchronism. So if nothing is there, then perhaps that means it's time to contemplate, or to rest, or to reset, or to find out, get deeper into what it is that you are meant to feel, so that it can be expressed.
I can say,
and then
I still like that's picture still up there. I hope it's just going to stay on. Can that be our
Who
logo?
Wants to reach around? But
the first reach around.
And it could also be, and just because something shows up synchronistically doesn't mean that you have to do it. It could be that is something for you to measure, like my friend who had that first job opportunity. Rather than saying, well, that's here now, but I'm not like connecting with it as well. So it was there for him to make a strong decision that actually allowed it, afforded it to become a step. You know what I mean? He was up and beyond it.
Right.
You see what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. He was able to really
and use that as a thing. And that's one thing that I definitely always ask for. I always ask for hope and possibility. Those are two things. Like, I don't care where they go. So hope and possibility. And I don't care if that means I'm hopeful I'm going to have a burger later tonight, or I'm hopeful that I'm going to win the lottery. Like hope is so powerful, and possibility, choices,
and hope for that reach around.
Always hoping for that.
Kurt showed up. Well, we are out of time.
Out of time.
We're fresh out of time, and we have to put it in the mason jar.
It's hot in here.
Keep it fresh for the next time. What's happening? Is Siri talking to us? All right. Well,
hey Siri.
Siri's looking for a reach around. The reach around closest to you.
Look, it's so creepy that they all come on.
Oh, both of their phones came on at the same time? That's weird.
Yeah, because I said hey Siri. Mine said yes.
Oh.
Okay.
Mine thinks I never speak to Siri, but when I'm doing readings,
it creeps me out.
She just starts talking.
All I say is, like, we're out of milk in my house, and then boom, my little Amazon is telling me where to find cheap milk.
Well, cheap milk.
Big Brother's listening.
Is going to be the topic of next week's show. We should be on at 7 p.m.
Are we going to do 7 again next week?
Yeah, that's our regular time slot.
Is it?
Yes.
I know
He doesn't even remember.
Screwed up the works a lot.
We are
I leave
live-
it open to the universe.
We are live every Thursday at 7 p.m. so far. That's what we're doing. And you can find us on YouTube. Do please subscribe, like, share, comment, and review us on iTunes or however you get your podcast. But you can watch us live on our YouTube channel. We'll see you next time. Thanks,
yes,
guys.
and bye, guys.